discuss problems which is relevant to the multiple angles problems and multiple angle formula and some multiple angle formula. Thereafter I will again discuss some good problems which is also relevant to this topic. After covering this topic, I will again start limit, that means part of a calculus. First of all, I want to, I think in previous classes I have already discussed all formula, but further I want to remember all this formula in short period. I want to tell you, as you know that sin 2a is equal to 2 sin a into cos a, which is a multiple angle formula. It is also equal to 2 tan a divided by 1 plus tan square. Similarly, cos 2 is equal to 2 cos square a minus 1, which it is also equal to 1 minus 2 sin square a. It is also equal to cos square a minus sin square a, and it is finally also equal to 1 minus tan square a divided by 1 plus tan square a. Another formula, tan 2a is equal to 2 tan a by 2 into 2 tan a divided by 1 minus tan square a. And similarly, I have already also told you what is the formula of sin a. It becomes 2, suppose that here it is sin a. In that case, sin a is equal to 2 sin a by 2 into cos a by 2. Suppose that you have to, it is also equal to 2 tan a by 2 divided by 1 plus tan square a by 2. Another formula is equal to sin, cos a is equal to cos square a by 2 minus sin square a by 2. Another formula will be 1 minus 2 sin square a by 2, and it is also equal to 2 sin square a by 2 minus 1, 2 cos square a by 2 minus 1. It is also equal to 1 minus tan square a by 2 divided by 1 plus tan square by 2. Next formula becomes for multiple angle 3. That means sin 3a is equal to 3 sin a minus 4 sin cube a, cos 3a is equal to 4 cos cube a minus 3 cos a, and tan 3 is equal to 3 tan a minus tan cube a divided by 1 minus 3 tan square a. That means all this formula you have to firstly remember, and during solving problems you have to write all preceding video problems, that means compound angle problems, and as well as complementary angle formula, quadrant formula. You have to all write in a particular notes, and during solving you have to take it near to you, such that while you forget you have to take your you have to see in your notes and you have to remember during solving problems. Then it becomes more easier and more confident. Now I want to take problems for you. Firstly, write problems third. In this problem, it is given that if 10x is equal to b by a, and it is given that 10x is equal to what? B by a. Then find the value of then you have to find the value of under root a plus b divided by a minus b. A divided by a minus b plus under root a minus b divided by a plus b. Now there arises a simple question: how can you find the value of this expression with the help of this? There is a simple logic behind it. Before it, I think you definitely this question becomes very different for other trigonometric questions, because before this question, if you see this kind of problems, you see simply if tan theta is equal to something is given, then you have to find cos theta, or suppose that here cos theta plus sin theta divided by cos theta minus sin theta, and like this. But there is given something different. That means you have to, there is given variables, that means a and b, and you have to find the value of trigonometric function which is as equal to this. Simple logic behind it. Solve. You have to find the value of a plus b divided by a minus b plus under root a minus b divided by a plus b. I want to give you some logics behind it. First of all, can you write what is the formula of 10 pi by 4 plus x? I think this is not a formula, but I want to give you separately, because if you remember this expression, then it becomes profitable for you. It becomes very profitable for you. Sometimes you can directly write it, and just looking problems you can solve in 1 minute, because while you are studying in class 12, in that class you will study another chapter which is relevant to this chapter, that will be inverse trigonometric function. There are many problems, that means 5 to 6 problems which is relevant to this formula. So I want to give you proof of that. That means write formula of this expression, that means 10 pi by 4 plus x. It is not a formula. Now can you write 10a plus b is equal to 10 pi by 4 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10 pi by 4 into 10x. Can you write it? Now, if 10 pi by 4, that means 1045 degree. What is the value of 10 pi by 4? 1 plus 10x, which is equal to 1 minus 10x. You get 10 pi by 4 plus x is equal to 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x. Very interesting fact for you. What? That means here you get 10 pi by 4 plus x is equal to 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x. Suppose that there is given this expression 1 plus 10x plus 1 minus 10x. Then you have to apply your intuitive idea. How can you reach using this formula at this place? Then you have to hit and try 10 pi by 4, 10 pi by 4 at this place, as this expression. Then you can write this expression as this. Because this is just as a 10 pi by 4 plus x, that means 10a plus b formula. Now, here you observe that 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x can be written as 10 pi by 4 plus 10x, 10 pi by 4 plus x. There is another also interesting fact in this expression. Can you write 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x? I want to write here 1 plus 10x can be written as sin x by cos x divided by 1 minus 10x. That will be 1 minus sin x by cos x. Can you write it? Which is equal to, after taking LCM, you get cos x plus sin x in numerator, and in denominator you get cos x minus sin x. Because denominator of both expressions, that means denominator of numerator becomes cos x and denominator of denominator becomes cos x. In that case, cos x and cos x vanishes, that means cancelled out. So you get cos x plus sin x divided by cos x minus sin x. Very interesting expression. While there is given cos x plus sin x divided by cos x minus sin x, you can write this expression just as a 10 pi by 4 plus x. It is exactly 10 pi by 4 plus x. Suppose that there is given cos x plus sin x divided by cos x minus sin x anywhere. In that way, you have to consider about cos x plus. That means it becomes very tougher in general case to think about cos x plus sin x divided by cos x minus sin x is exactly 10 pi by 4 plus x. Because there are many steps to reach at that point. So I want to give you some idea. If you write, especially in your notes, then you can memorize. It is just as a 10 by 4 plus x. In that case, only 2 or 3 steps you can solve any problems. That means you have to remember 10 pi by 4 plus x is equal to cos x plus sin x divided by cos x minus sin x, and it is also equal to 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x. I think I want to tell you this problem is also based on this formula. But I want to directly, I give you some idea about it during solving. But I want to tell you 1 minute. But I want to tell you while you are trying to solve these problems. Firstly, I give suggestion. You have to write separately in your formula gallery that helps to understand or solve all those problems which is kind of this. Now I want to solve this problem. How can you solve? There are 2 processes by which you can solve, but I want to take a more complicated way. I want to give you simply procedure. Now as you know that in your given problem b is equal to not 0. In your book b is equal to not 0 and a is equal to not 0. Already it is given. If b is equal to not 0, or suppose that a is equal to not 0, had given that a is equal to not 0. If a is equal to not 0, can you divide in numerator and denominator by a? If you divide in numerator a, you get 1 plus b by a divided by 1 minus b by a. Can you write? If you write 1 plus b by a divided by 1 minus b by a plus, here it is what? Under root. If you again divide in numerator and denominator by a, you get 1 minus b by a divided by 1 plus b by a. As you know that 10x is equal to b by a. As you know that 10x is equal to b by a. So can you write directly formula of b by a is equal to 10x divided by 1 minus 10x? Can you write? Plus under root. It is what? 10 1 minus 10x divided by 1 plus 10x. Can you write? Now, if you write or if you try to simplify it, you can simplify it. But I think there is no necessity to simplify it. You can leave now. As you know that root under 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x is equal to 1. You can leave it here. But I want to write some steps again. Can you write 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x is equal to what? Now you definitely, can you write directly 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x is equal to 10 pi by 4 plus 6. And here 1 minus 10x divided by 1 plus 10x is equal to what? 10 pi by 4 minus x. I think I leave its formula. 10 pi by 4 minus x is equal to 1 minus 10x divided by 1 plus 10x. Before it I have written only 10 pi by 4 plus x, but I want to again give you some this kind of formula. It is also equal to cos x minus sin x and cos x plus sin x. In previous problem there should be plus and there should be minus. Now I want to rub this part. Now can you write? I want to rub this part. I want to give you idea to reach this portion. Like now, suppose that you can directly use formula if you have remembered, but if you don't know, then you have to write a step. 1 can be written as 10 pi by 4. Can you write 10 pi by 4? If you write 1 as 10 pi by 4 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10 pi by 4 into 10x, can you write? Plus here it is equal to 10 pi by 4. Here it is equal to what? That means 10 pi by 4 minus 10x divided by 1 plus 10 pi by 4 into 10x. Now what is this? This is 10 pi by 4 plus x plus what is this? 10 pi by 4 minus x. This is your final answer. But if you want, they ask only to you have to find the value of this expression. But you can also express in another terms. Now you definitely write how can you express in another terms. If you take LCM of both expressions, can you write it? I think this is your final answer. But there should be, there may be another answer. So getting another answer you can solve another. In that case you have to use simplification. Can you write it under root 1 plus 10x divided by under root 1 minus 10x plus in above it is equal to 1 minus 10x. Can you write 1 minus 10x divided by under root 1 plus 10x? After taking LCM, what do you get? After taking LCM, what do you get? Here you can multiply it. In that case you get I want to give you a step. 1 minus 10x, can you write 1 minus 10x into 1 plus 10x? After dividing this by this term in this portion, you get under root 1 plus 10x. If you multiply in this expression, what do you get? Under root 1 plus 10x becomes 1 under root 1 plus 10x into under root 1 plus 10x becomes under root 1 plus 10x square x under root 1 plus 10x whole square. If it becomes under root 1 plus 10x whole square, you can take a square root of under root 1 plus square root of 1 plus 10x whole square becomes 1 plus 10x and it becomes 1 minus 10x. Here 10x and minus 10x becomes opposite side each other. So you finally get what? 1 plus 1 2 divided by 1 plus 10x into 1 minus 10x. What will be it? It will be 1 minus 10x square x. This is your final answer of this expression. I think you understand. Again I take another examples. Both there may be any answer of in your book. I have not passed your answer. Now I want to take another examples. Questions 4. Example 4. In this problem it is given that you have to prove that root 3 into cosec 20 degree minus sec 20 degree is equal to 4. You have to prove. When you see this question, there arises a simple process in your mind. How can you solve? I think if you know the value of cosec 20 and sec 20, then after putting you can get forward. But you don't know the value of cosec 20 and sec 20, and after and you also can't find the cosec 20 and sec 20 with the help of algebra. Whatever you are trying to solve the sec 20, cosec 20, you have to see trigonometric table as a logarithmic table. But in your class there is not given, so I have to simply, by simplification you have to solve for, and maybe some hit and try. Firstly, I want to write root 3 into cosec 20 can be written as 1 by sin 20 minus sec 20 can be written as 1 by cos 20. Firstly, you have to write from LHS. Now, you have to take LCM. You get root 3 into cos 20 minus 1 into sin 20 divided by sin 20 into sin 20 into cos 20. Can you write? Can you write it? Now, here it becomes as this expression. Now, you have to multiply and divide by 2 in both expressions. That means numerator and denominator. Suppose that I want to multiply by 2 and divide by 2. If you divide by 2, and similarly, you also multiply and divide by 2 here. If you don't, you can also ignore it. Suppose that I have written it 2 into 2, and here I have written 2 into 2. Now, it becomes 2, and this is it becomes also 2. You have to write as this expression. This 2 and this 2 becomes 4 because it is a denominator of denominator, so it goes in numerator. If it will go in numerator, then it becomes 2 into 2, 4. And now you have to write root 3 by 2 can be written as sin 60 degree into cos 20 minus half can be written as sin 30, cos 60 into sin 20 divided by 2 sin 20 into cos 20 is equal to what? Sin 40. Can you write? Now, there is simple observation. It becomes 4 into sin A into cos B minus cos A into sin B. Will be what? Sin A minus B. A is equal to 60 and B is equal to 20. So, can you write 60 minus 20? That means sin 40. So, simply can you write it? Sin 40 divided by in denominator also sin 40. Sin 40 will be cancelled each other. Finally, you get 4, which is your required RHS. You can think about this problem. There is simple clue by divide 2 and multiply 2, because here this is given root 3. Looking at root 3, there arises a simple problem. There arises a simple idea in your mind. If you suppose that here, suppose that there is a root 3 by 2, it becomes sin 60, and there is also 20. 60, 20 can be manipulate each other and you get 40. And in denominator to sin 20 into cos 20, that becomes sin 40. So this is your simple clue. I think if you solve a lot of problems, automatically you get this kind of idea or this kind of clue. Now I want to give another problem. In the next question, 5.1, it is given that you have to prove that sin x minus sin 3x, sin x minus sin 3x divided by sin square x minus cos square x is equal to 2 sin x. You have to prove it. Simply you have to proceed again from LHS. I want to arise a simple question. What is the formula of sin C minus sin D? You definitely tell me 2 cos C plus D by 2. That means x plus 3x. That means 4x by 2. That means 2x into sin C minus D by 2. That means sin x minus 3x. That means minus 2x divided by 2 minus x. That means definitely you write minus sin. Here you have to write sin minus x. Divided by, I have written directly. You can manipulate it. After taking minus common this expression, what do you get? Minus cos square x minus sin square x. Can you write? And common here I have taken common minus 1. In numerator you get 2 cos 2x into sin minus sin is equal to minus sin theta. So can you write minus 2 cos 2x divided by sin x, and it becomes minus 1 into cos square x minus sin square x will be what? cos 2x. Here cos 2x and cos 2x will be cancelled, and minus minus also cancelled. Finally, you get what? 2 sin x. I think very easy problem for you. Again, I take another examples for you. Another examples. Second, in this problem it is given that you have to prove sin 5x minus 2 sin 3x plus sin x divided by cos 5x minus cos x is equal to 10x. You have to prove it. Now there arises a simple problem question. How can we solve it? Simply, you have to use firstly arrange this term sin 5x plus sin x. What is the formula of sin 5x plus sin x? That means sin c plus sin d. Sin c plus sin d is equal to what? You can write from minus. You write firstly sin 5x and sin x near to each other, minus 2 sin minus 2 sin 3x divided by cos 5x minus cos x. After it, you write that step which is written by me just as sin c plus sin d is equal to 2 sin c plus d, that means 5x plus x, that means 6x by 2, that means 3x, into cos 5x minus x, that means 2x, 4x minus 2, that means 2x. So you can write 2 sin c plus sin d is equal to 2 sin c plus d by 2 into cos c minus d by 2 minus 2 sin 3x divided by, in denominator you get cos c minus cos d. What do you get? Cos c minus cos d. I want to tell you what is the formula of cos c minus cos d. Cos c minus cos d, I have already told you, formula of cos c minus cos d is equal to minus 2 into sin c plus d by 2, that means 5x plus x, that means 3x, 5x plus x by 2, that means 3x, into sin c minus d by 2, that means 5x minus x, that means 4x by 2x. 4x minus x, 5x minus x, that means 4x by 2x, that means 4x by 2, that means 2x. Now, you have to take common minus 2 sin 3x in numerator, because here there is also given minus. If you take minus, then you can remove. So I want to take common minus 2 sin 3x. If you take minus 2 sin 3x, what do you get? Here becomes 1 and here becomes minus cos 2x divided by. In denominator, you get minus 2 sin 3x into sin 2x. Here both terms will be cancelled each other. Here you get 1 minus cos 2 theta. What will be the formula of 1 minus cos 2 theta? 2 sin square x is equal to, and sin 2x is equal to what? 2 sin x into cos x. 2 cancel and x cancelled by sin x times, you get sin x by cos x, that means 1. Simply 10x, which is your required RHS. I think you understand this problem. Again, I want to take next examples for you. In next example, you have to prove six one that is given. You have to prove tan 5x plus tan 3x divided by tan 5x minus tan 3x is equal to 4 cos 2x into cos 4x. Now there arises a simple question. How can you solve this problem? Simply, you have to proceed from LHS. Now, you consider about LHS. There is no formula in tan A plus tan B. That means tan C plus tan B, tan D. There is no formula. Tan A plus B is known, but tan A plus tan B, there is separate term. Here angle is combined and tan is applied on directly angle A plus B. But here tan A plus tan B, there is no any formula. So you have to simplify as sin and cos. Can you write sin 5x by cos 5x plus tan 3x is equal to sin 3x by cos 3x divided by tan 5x minus tan 3x, that means sin 5x by cos 5x minus sin 3x by cos 3x. Now, After taking LCM, cos 5x and cos 3x in denominator, you write in numerator sin 5x into cos 3x. You can take firstly LCM cos 5x into cos 3x, sin 5x into cos 3x plus sin 3x into cos 5x, that means cos 5x into sin 3x. I think you understand. Sin 5x into cos 3x. Sorry, there is a left. Now, here it becomes sin 5x into cos x. Always I have sin 5x into cos 3x minus sin 5x into, cos 5x minus sin 3x. Cos 5x into sin 3x divided by cos 5x into cos 3x. Here cos 5x and cos 3x is cancelled each other. In numerator you get sin 5x into cos 3x plus cos 5x into sin 3x. That means sin a into cos b plus cos a into sin b. So can you write it as sin a plus b? That means 5x plus 3x. 5x plus 3x. In the numerator you can write sin a minus b. That means 5x minus 3x. So in numerator now you have to write, after this step you have to write here sin 5x plus 3x equal to what? Sin 8x divided by, in numerator you get 5x minus 3x which equal to what? Sin 2x. What do you get? Sin 8x by sin 2x. But in RHS it is given 4 into cos 2x divided by cos 4x. Now you have to reach near this expression. I want to rub this part. Now, sin 8x can be written as 2 sin 4x into cos 4x. You definitely add, how can you write? That is very simple reason. Because sin 8x can be written as sin 2 into 4x. And so sin 2 into a. Sin 2a into a, that means here a is equal to what? 4x. 2 sin a into cos. Simply using this formula I have written here. Sin 2x is equal to 2 sin x into cos x. Can you write? 2 and 2a cancel each other. Again you can write sin 4x is equal to what? 2 sin 2x into cos 2x into cos 4x divided by, here it is cos sin x into cos x. Numerator. Now you can again write, what is the how can you write sin 4x equal to 2 sin 2x into cos 2x? Simple reason. Sin 4x can be expressed 2 times sin 2x. Sin 2 times 2x. So 2 sin 2a, sin 2a is equal to 2 sin a into cos a. So I have written simply 2 sin 2x into cos 2x. Now here you can write again sin 2x is equal to what? 2 sin x into cos x. In that case, if you write 2 sin x into cos x in place of sin 2x, sin x and cos x will be removed. That is cancelled each other. Finally you get 2 times 2 to the 4 into cos 2x into cos 4x. Which is your RHS part. You can see there should be, if you do manipulation, that is calculation or simplification correctly, then you have to only proceed, only go one by one step. After it you definitely get this step. That means your RHS. Now I again take another problems for you. I want to rub this part. Next problem is given. You have to show that 6 2. You have to show tan 4x is equal to 4 tan x into 1 minus tan square x divided by 1 minus 6 tan square x plus 10 power 4x. Now, there is a simple question, how can you solve this problem? There is very simple logic behind it. Tan 4x is equal to, can you write tan 2 into 2x? Now it is just a tan 2a. Here 2x is equal to a. Here 2x is equal to a. Tan 2a is equal to what? 2 tan a divided by 1 minus 10 square. Can you write? After it becomes very easy for you. Simply 10 to x is equal to what? You have to put 2 10x divided by 1 minus 10 square x divided by 1 minus 10 square 2x. 1 minus 10 to x is equal to what? 2 minus 2 10x divided by 1 minus 10 square x whole square. After it you have to manipulate and finally you get this expression. I want to erase this part. Simple. There is a very simple conclusion. It becomes 1 minus 4 square 4 10 square x divided by 1 minus 10 square x whole square. After taking common, you finally get this expression. I want to write the second part. In next question, there is again you have to prove. Example 7. Prove that sec 8x minus 1 divided by sec 4x minus 1 is equal to 10 8x divided by 10 2x. How can you solve this problem? I want to give you some idea. Sec 8x from LHS. Can you write sec 8x is equal to 1 by cos 2 8x minus 1 divided by sec 4x, that means 1 by cos 4x minus 1. Here 1 by cos 2x minus 1, that means it can be written as 1 minus cos 2x divided by cos 2x comes in denominator into 1 minus cos 4x by cos 4x. You get this expression. Now you have to simply think about this formula. 1 minus cos 2 cos 8x will be what? I want to give you some idea. I think you know about 1 minus cos 2 theta equal to what? 2 sin square theta. What is the formula relation between this expression and this expression? Simply theta 2 theta, that means in place of theta there will be 4x. In place of theta there will be 4x. That means theta is simply replaced by 4x. Because if you write 8x, then 8x can be expressed as 2 times 4x. In that case, if you compare 2 theta, that means it definitely replaces that here theta is replaced by 4x. So can you write theta as 2 sin square 4x? Can you write it 2 sin square 4x? If you write 2 sin square 4x into cos 4x divided by, here it is cos 8x into 1 minus cos 4x is equal to what? 1 minus cos 4 is equal to 2 sin square 2x. Can you write? Now you have to simplify again. Here you get simply you have to firstly write 2 sin 4x into cos 4x, and another term will be sin 4x divided by this portion will be sin 8x into, it will be 2 into 2 sin square 2x simply write it. Now I want to give next step. Sorry, this part is it. Now I want to again write 2 sin 4x into cos 4x is equal to what? Sin 8x divided by cos 8x. Now here there is a sin 4x. Sin 4x can be written as 2 sin 2x into cos 2x divided by, in denominator you get 2 sin square 2x. 2 cancel and sin 2x cancelled sin square 2x by sin 2x. In that case sin 8x by cos 8x will be what? 10x, which is in denominator. And if you take cos 2x in denominator, here it can be written as cos 2x by sin 2x can be written as 1 by cos 2x by sin 2x by cos 2x. 1 by sin 2x by cos 2x. In that case, if it comes in denominator, it becomes sin 2x by cos 2x. That line in denominator, which is your tan 2x. I think you understand. Now I take next examples for you. In next example, Example 8. In this problem, it is given that prove that 10 pi by 4 plus x plus 10 pi by 4 minus x is equal to 2 sec 2x. You have to prove it. How can you solve it? It becomes very easy. 10 pi, I think I have already told about this problem. Very simply you can solve this problem. But I want to take some concept, not a general way. If you write this expression, it becomes from LHS. You can go directly, only one step. But I think there should be also some concepts that helps to understand. 10 pi by 4 plus x. 10 pi by 4 plus x. Can you write it? Be careful here. 10 pi by 4 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10 pi by 4 into 10x plus 10 pi by 4 minus 10x divided by 1 plus 10 pi by 4 into 10x. Now 10 pi by 4 can be written as 1 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10 pi by 4 can be written as 1 into 10x. Can you write? Plus here it becomes 1 minus 10x divided by 1 plus 10x. Can you write? Now we have to express this expression in terms of sin x and cos x. If you express sin x and cos x, nothing, I have already told about it. But in your board, there should be some steps to solve this problem. So I want to give some steps. 1 plus 10x. Can you write it? 1 plus sin x by cos x. In denominator, it becomes 1 minus sin x by cos x. Here 1 minus 10x becomes sin x by cos x divided by 1 plus 10x becomes sin x by cos x. Can you write it? I think you understand my logic. Now I want to rub your part of this problem. You have to reach 2 sec 2x. Remember it? If you take LCM of above part, it becomes cos x LCM. So you can write cos x plus sin x by cos x divided by cos x minus sin x by cos x. Can you write? Cos x and cos x cancel here. Plus here cos x minus sin x by cos x divided by cos x plus sin x by cos x. Can you write? Can you write cos x plus sin x by cos x? Here cos x and cos x cancel and cos x also cancel. Now finally you get cos x plus sin x. I want to directly write it. If you take LCM, here you get, I want to write it again. Or not, it becomes more tougher than usually. Here it becomes cos x minus sin x divided by cos x plus sin x. If you take here LCM, what do you get? Cos x minus sin x into cos x plus sin x. If you multiply, you get cos square x minus sin square x. Or you can write as cos x minus sin x into cos x plus sin x as a multiplication. If you divide by cos x minus sin x, you get cos x plus sin x. And after multiplying in this expression, you get cos x plus sin x whole square. So you can write directly in denominator cos x plus sin x whole square plus it becomes cos x minus sin x whole square. Can you write? Now I want to give some idea. Can I have this part? In numerator, if you simplify it, it becomes cos square x plus sin square x plus 2 sin x into cos x, and it becomes also cos square x plus sin square x minus 2 sin x into cos x. Can you write? Divided by cos square x minus sin square x is equal to what? Cos 2x. I think you understand. Now here this term and this term cancel, vanishes each other, and cos square x plus sin square x is equal to 1, and here it is also cos square x plus sin square x is equal to 1. That means 1 plus 1 2. So you can write it just as a 2 by cos 2x. Now 2 by cos 2x, that means 2 into 1 by cos 2x. Can you write it? Now it becomes 2 into 1 upon cos 2x. 1 upon cos 2x is equal to what? Sec 2x. This is your required answer for you. Now I want to take next problem for you. There is nothing all these problems, there is only manipulation. Only proceed with patience after it. If you proceed with patience, definitely you can solve all these problems so easily. Now I want to tell another problems. In next question is given 9. In example 9, it is given that you have to prove that in this question given that you have to prove that 10x into 10 pi by 3 minus x into 10 pi by 3 plus x is equal to tan 3x. You have to prove it. How can you solve? This is very simple. Firstly, you have to apply formula. It is given 10x into 10 pi by 3 minus x. You have to apply formula. What is the formula of 10a minus 10b? 10a minus 10b is equal to 10a minus 10b. That means, can you write 10a, that means 10 pi by 3, minus 10b, that means 10x divided by, you can write here from LHS 1 minus 3 10 square, that means 1 minus 3 10 square pi by 3 into 10 pi by 3 plus that, that means 10a plus 10b divided by 1 minus, sorry I have some done mistakes, 1 minus 10a minus 10b divided by 1 minus 10a into 10b. Here 10a plus 10b divided by 1 by, here it will be plus 10a plus 10b divided by 1 minus 10a into 10b. Now you have to calculate some simple calculation. Can you write 10x into 10 pi by 3 is equal to what? 10 pi by 3 is equal to 1 upon root 3. 10 pi by 3 is equal to root 3. It becomes root 3 minus, it will be 10x divided by, it will be 1 plus root 3 into 10x into 10 pi by 3, that means root 3 plus 10x divided by 1 minus 10x, root 3 10x. Can you write it root 3 into 10x? Simply I have written here 10 by pi by 3, value of 10 pi by 3, that will be root 3, and 10x is just as a x. Here it is a 10x. Now you have to simply manipulate, then you get to root 3 minus 10x into root 3 plus 10x, that means a plus b into a minus b, that means a square minus b square, that means can you write 3 minus 10 square x? Very simple. Divided by 1 plus root 3 10x, 1 minus root 3 10x, that will be what? 1 minus 1 square minus root 3 10x whole square, that means root 3 whole square, root 3 and 10x will be 10 square whole square will be 10 square x. So simply you can write 1 minus 3 10 square x, which is equal to 10x, that means 3 10x minus 10 cube x divided by 1 minus 3 10 square x. This is also equal to what? Tan 3x, because I have already know tan 3x is equal to 3 10x minus 10 cube x divided by 1 minus 3 10 square x. I think you understand this problem. Now I again take next examples. I think you understand. In next problem, I think 10 first. In this problem it is given that you have to prove 10x plus, there is simple in the previous problem, this is also same problem of previous, only there is a multiplication sign between two terms. Here there is a addition sign between two terms. So there is given 10x plus 10 pi by 3 minus x plus 10 pi by 3 plus x, and you have to prove sum of all these terms will be 3 10 3x. Now you have to prove it. Can you solve this? Firstly you have to solve from LHS. Can you write 10x plus 10 pi by 3 minus x will be what? 10a, that means pi by 3 Can I write directly? Root 3 minus 10x divided by 1 plus root 3 into 10x plus a plus root 3 plus 10x divided by 1 minus root 3 into 10x. Actually, I have already told you 10a plus b is equal to 10a plus 10b divided by 1 minus 10a into 10b, and 10a minus b is equal to 10a minus 10b divided by 1 plus 10a into 10b. Now, you have to simply, can you write it 10x plus, if you take here LCM, what do you get? If you take LCM, I want to directly take LCM. After taking LCM, what do you get? 1 plus root 3 10x into 1 minus root 3 10x. Now, here it will be 1. After dividing 1, you get a whole expression. It will be 1 minus 3 10 square x, because if you multiply both expressions, you get 1 minus 3 10 square x. Then 10x into 1 minus 3 10 square x, you have to multiply simply. Can you write 10x into 1 minus 3 10 square x? Plus, here if you divide by 1 plus root 3 10x, what do you get? 1 minus root 3 10x. After multiplying this term to this term, that is root 3 minus 10x into 1 minus root 3 10x, you get root 3 minus root 3 into root 3 10x, that means 3 10x minus 10x minus plus 3 root 3 10x. Can you write? Similarly, plus, actually there is no space, so I want to write after this. Now we have to divide by this term in LCM, then you get 1 plus root 3 10x into root 3 plus 10x. If you multiply by 1 plus root if you multiply by 1 plus root 3 10x to root 3 plus 10x, what do you get? Root 3 plus 3 10x. If you multiply root 3 into this term, root 3 plus 3 10x, again multiply 10x, you get 10x plus root 3 10 square x. That means, can you write it just as a 1, that means root 3 minus 3 10x, 10x minus root 3 10 square x. So there should be a square. And similarly, if you write here root 3 plus 3 10x minus here it will be 10x plus root 3 10 square x. There is nothing, simply I have done some calculation very short, otherwise everything becomes a same. Simply in numerator this term and this term is available. Now you have to manipulate, this term is present in numerator, don't take in denominator or anyway. Now I want to manipulate it. If you manipulate, what do you get? After multiplying 10x minus 3 10 cube x, here you get 10x minus 3 10x, here 10x and minus 3 10x is also here, and minus 10x 3 10x and minus 3 10x is removed here. I think you understand. Now you get root 3 and root 3 to root 3. After it, root 3 10 square x and root 3 10 square x. If you multiply root 3 10 square x, sorry, there should be if you multiply minus plus root 3, it is okay. Simply 2 root 3 10 square x, here 10x minus root 3 and root 3, 2 root 3 10 square x. Now, can you write it as 10x into 1 minus 3 10 square x into root 3 plus I think both terms is removed here, then you get root 3 plus root 3 2 root 3 and this term added 2 root 3, and root 3 10 square x plus root 3 10 square x will be what? 2 root 3 10 square x. Can you write? Now, 1 minute get 10x plus 10a minus b 1 plus 10a root 3 plus 10x divided by 1 minus root 3 10x. Now, again, if you take 1 minus 3 10 square x, 10x into 1 minus 3 10 square x, it is okay. Now, if you divide 1 plus root 3x, you get 1 minus root 3 10. If you multiply root 3 minus 3 10x, root 3 minus 3 10x, root 3 minus 3 10x, minus 10x minus 3 10 square, minus root 3 10 square x. This is okay. Minus plus root 3 10 square, it is okay. Now, 1 minute. I think this is also okay process actually, but it becomes more tougher. I want to give some another way by which you can proceed. Firstly, you add these two terms. After it, again you add this term, obtain final terms. That means, can you write it? 10x plus. If you take LCM in this term, you get what? 1 minus 3 10 square x. Because if you multiply both terms, you get this expression. If you divide by 1 plus root 3 10x by to this term, you get this term, and if you multiply this term into this, you get root 3 minus root 3 10x. Can you write directly? Root 3 minus 10x into 1 minus root 3 10x plus next term will be root 3 plus 10x into 1 plus root 3 10x. I think you understand. Now you have to simply calculate it. 10x plus, if you multiply by this factor to this factor, you get root 3 minus 3 10x minus 10x minus minus plus 3 10 square x. Again, if you multiply this term, you get what? Plus root 3 plus 3 10x plus 10x plus root 3 10 square x. I think you understand. Now you have to divide whole factor, removing 10x. 1 minus 3 10 square x. Can you write it? Now, I want to rub this part. It becomes 10x plus, if you manipulate root 3 plus root 3 becomes 2 root 3. Can you write 2 root 3? 1 minute, I want to say 1 minute. Okay, sorry, there has done some mistakes in this problem. Given that here minus, I have written plus. So in back just before, I can't solve this problem because here there is given minus sign. So it becomes 1 2 3 4 terms. That means minus 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 minus. But due to this term, I have done some mistakes. Now you can understand root 3 10 square x, root 3 10 square x. Cancel. Minus 3 10x and here minus 3 10x added, 10x and minus 10x added, and minus root 3 removed. Finally you get and 3 and minus 3, it is also removed. Finally you get 10x plus minus 3 10x minus 10x minus 4 10x. This is not minus 3 10x. Minus 3 10x minus 3 10x minus 6 10x 7 10x 8 10x. That means, can you write minus 8 10x? Directly I want to write minus 8 10x. Is there other isotopes? No. Divided by 1 minus 3 10 square x. Now you have to simply take again LCM. You get 10x minus 3 10 cube x minus 8 10x. Can you write 8 10x? This is this term, and 3 10 cube x simply I have written. Now divided by 1 minus 3 10 square x. Here 8 10x plus 10x 9 10x. If you take common 3, what do you get? 3 into 3 10x. minus here minus 10 cube x divided by 1 minus 3 10 x square. Here 3 into 3 10 x minus 10 cube x divided by 1 minus 3 10 x square x. This will be 10 3x, which is your RHS. I think there is nothing in this problem. I have done some mistake with this. I have taken plus sign in place of negative sign. So it becomes wrong during solving. Now I take again next problem for you. Next problem is also similar kind problem. I want to do you only some hint, and after it you can do it similar. Tan 2. In this problem it is given that cot alpha plus cot 60 plus alpha plus cot 120 plus alpha is equal to 3 cot 3 alpha. You have to prove it. How can you solve it? Becomes also very easy. First of all, I want to give an idea about this problem. Cot 120 plus alpha can be written as 90 plus 33 plus alpha. Can you write? And now, as you know that cot 90 plus theta is equal to what? Tan theta. So it can be written as 30 plus alpha, but it lies in second quadrant. It lies in second quadrant. It lies in second quadrant because it is just greater than 90. So in second quadrant, cot becomes negative. So you have to write a negative sign. So I think you have to write firstly. This will be this. That means minus 10 30 plus alpha. Have you understood? But before writing, I want to give you some idea. Cot alpha firstly you have to from RHS, from LHS. Cot alpha can be written as 1 upon 10 alpha plus. It can be written as 1 upon 10 60 plus alpha plus. It can be written as 1 by 10 120 plus alpha. Can you write? Now you have to simply, I think you understand. Now you have to simply write. Can you write 1 upon 10 alpha plus? Now here you have to take, you have to write its formula. What is the formula of this expression? 10a plus 10b divided by 1 minus 10a into 10b. That goes in numerator, so you can write 1 minus 10a into 10b. Can you write? Plus. Now in denominator you get 10 120 plus alpha. What is the formula of 10 120? Similarly you can write 10 120 plus 10 alpha. In numerator you get 1 minus 10 120 plus 10 3 alpha. I think you understand. Here it is 1 minute. I want to write 1 minus 10 120 into 1 into 10 alpha. Understood? Now you have to simply, first of all, I want to give you value of 10 120. What is the value of 10 120? 10 120 can be found using by this way 90 plus 30. Can you write 90 plus 30? What is the value of 90 plus 30? Can you write it? Minus cot 30. Minus cot 30 will be what? Cot 30 will be root 3. So 10 120 will be minus root 3. Now you have to put the value of all those points. Suppose that here 10 60. So you can write root 3. Here 10 60. Can you write here root 3? 10 20. That means minus root 3. That will be minus plus root 3. Here 10 120. That will be minus root 3. Now you have to calculate firstly both terms. After calculating, you have to add this term. Then finally, after manipulating, you get 3 into 1 minus 3 10 square alpha divided by 3 10 alpha minus 10 cube alpha. Okay. After manipulating whole expression, you get this term. It will be 3 into, as you know that 3 10 alpha minus 10 cube alpha divided by, can you write it in its denominator? If you take this expression in denominator, it becomes 3 10 alpha minus 10 cube alpha divided by 1 minus 3 10 alpha, 1 minus 3 10 square alpha, which will be 10 3 alpha. That means you can write 1 by 10 3 alpha. Because in denominator, when it goes in denominator, then becomes 3 10 alpha minus 10 cube alpha, 1 minus 3 10 square alpha, which will be 10 3 alpha, and 1 upon 10 3 alpha will be quad 3 alpha. So you can write it will be What 3 alpha which is your RHS. I think you understand. I take next problem again. In the next question, it is given 11. In this problem, it is given that if 2 cos y is equal to x plus 1 upon x, then prove that cos 3y is equal to 1 upon 2 into x cube plus 1 upon x cube. Now, how can you solve this problem? Firstly, I want to hint you cos 3x is equal to what? 4 cos 2x minus 3 cos x. Can you write? Now, as you know that cos x is equal to, I want to write in terms of y. So, cos 3y is equal to 4 cos 2 y minus 3 cos y. Now, can you write the 4 times cos y whole cube minus 3 times cos y? Now, we have to just put the value of cos y is equal to x plus 1 by x by 2. And after it becomes definitely x cube plus 1 by x cube. It becomes definitely 1 upon x cube plus 1 by x cube. Simply you have to put the value of x plus 1 by x in this place. After it you get 1 upon 2 into after manipulating you get 1 upon 2 into x cube plus 1 upon x cube. Just I have hint you. Now I want to take next problem. The next question 12, it is given that 2 sin square beta plus 4 cos alpha plus beta into sin alpha into sin beta plus cos 2 into alpha plus beta is equal to cos 2 alpha. You have to prove it is equal to cos 2 alpha. You have to prove this expression, that is LHS expression is equal to RHS. How can you solve it? Firstly, I want to give some hint about it. Firstly, it is equal to 2 sin square beta. It is equal to 2 sin square beta. Here, it is equal to 4 cos alpha plus beta into sin alpha into beta you have to go from LHS. It is 2 sin square beta and it is 4 cos alpha plus beta. Firstly, I want to tell you, just you have to write in place of 2 sin square beta. In place of 2 sin square beta, can you write here 1? Can you write here? You have to proceed from LHS. As you know that 2 sin square beta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 beta. Can you write 1 minus 2 sin square theta? 2 sin square beta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 beta. Because I have already told you 1 plus cos 2 beta is equal to 2 cos square beta. But 1 minus 2 sin beta is equal to 2 sin square beta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 beta. Now it becomes 1 minus cos 2 beta plus 4 cos alpha plus beta. You have to write it in bracket 4 times cos alpha beta plus beta. Can you write it? Cos alpha plus beta is equal to what? Cos A into cos B minus sin A into sin B into sin alpha into sin beta. Can you write? Plus cos 2 alpha plus 2 beta. Can you, if you multiply by 2 alpha plus beta, you get cos 2 alpha plus 2 beta. So can you write cos 2 alpha plus 2 beta? That will be cos A into cos B minus sin A into sin B This problem is completely based on simplification. Nothing there is given, and there is no any concept in this problem. Plus 4 into. If you multiply by this factor in this term, you get sin alpha into cos alpha into sin beta into cos alpha. Can you write 4 times? Sin alpha into cos alpha into sin beta into cos beta. If you multiply by this factor in this factor, you get to minus 4 sin square alpha into sin square beta minus 4 alpha into sin square beta. Can you write? Now next term will be cos 2 alpha into cos 2 beta. Can you write cos 2 alpha into cos 2 beta as you can limit cos 2 alpha into cos 2 beta minus it is sin 2 alpha into sin 2 beta. Now here you observe that 2 sin, if you take 2, here it is 4. Can you 4 write as 2 into 2? Now first 2 take with this term and second 2 take with this term. That means 2 into sin alpha into cos alpha, 2 into sin beta into cos beta. There is not a factor or there is no any change. So you can write 2 sin alpha into cos alpha into 2 into sin beta into cos beta. In that case you get 2 into. In that case you get 2 into sin alpha into that means sin 2 alpha into sin 2 beta. So I want to write just as 1 minus cos 2 beta 2 sin square beta 2 sin square beta 1 2 sin. Don't take 2 sin square. Don't write here 1 minus cos 2 beta because there is something good steps. Now you take common 2 sin square beta from this and that term. In that case, if you take 2 sin square beta common, what do you get? 1 minus 2 sin square alpha. Can you write? Now it becomes sin 2 alpha into sin 2 beta. And here there is given cos 2 alpha into cos 2 beta. Minus sin 2 alpha into sin 2 beta. Can you write? Now both terms cancel each other. Here 2 sin square beta into 1 minus 2 sin square alpha. Now 2 sin square beta can be written as 1 minus 2 sin square beta can be written as 1 minus cos 2 beta into 1 minus 2 sin square alpha can be written as 1 minus plus cos 2 alpha. I think you understand my matter. Plus here there is given only cos 2 alpha into cos 2 beta. Understood? Now I want to write if you multiply 1 and minus 1 vanishes each other, cos 2 alpha. If you multiply by cos 2 alpha to this factor, you get cos 2 alpha into cos 2 alpha minus cos 2 alpha into cos 2 beta. And second term cos 2 alpha into cos 2 beta as a addition. Both will be vanishes each other. Finally you get what? Cos 2 alpha, which is your RHS. I think you understand. Again, I want to take next example, value 2. In 12 seconds, there is given if cos alpha plus cos beta is equal to 0. If cos alpha plus cos beta is equal to 0 and it is also equal to sin alpha plus sin beta, then you have to prove that cos 2 alpha plus cos 2 beta plus 2 into cos alpha plus beta is equal to 0. You have to prove it. How can you solve? There is simple procedure. Suppose that this is the first part, equation second, and this is second part, equation second. You have to write equation first whole square minus equation second whole square. If you write it, then it becomes definitely 0 because it is a, if you square equation first in LHS and RHS, definitely RHS will be 0, and similarly in equation second also RHS will be 0. So if you subtract 0 from 0, definitely you get 0. Now equation first will be cos alpha plus cos beta whole square minus sin alpha plus sin beta whole square. Can you write? Is equal to 0. If you express, then in this case it will be cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus 2 into cos alpha into cos beta. There is simple proof behind it. I will again tell you. Minus sin square alpha into sin square alpha minus sin square beta minus 2 sin alpha into sin beta. Can you write it? Is equal to 0. Now cos square alpha minus sin square alpha, that will be what? Cos 2 alpha. Cos square beta minus sin square beta will be what? Cos 2 beta plus. If you take 2 common from both terms, this term and this term, then you get cos then you get cos alpha then you get cos alpha into cos beta minus sin alpha into sin beta, which will be what? Cos alpha plus beta, which is your final answer. That means you can tell her cos 2 alpha plus cos 2 beta is equal plus 2 into cos alpha plus beta will be 0. This is your final answer of this problem. Now again I take 13. Problem 13. One minute wait. Problem 13 I want to write. Problem 13. In this problem it is given if a cos 2 theta plus b sin 2 theta is equal to c, then has alpha and beta two roots. Then prove that tan alpha plus tan beta is equal to 2b by a plus c. Now I write a simple question. How can you show it? Simply a into cos 2 theta can be written as 1 minus tan square theta divided by 1 plus tan square theta plus b sin theta can be written as b into 2 tan theta divided by 1 plus tan square theta is equal to c. After taking LCM and cross multiplication, what do you get? A into 1 minus tan square theta plus 2b into tan theta is equal to c times 1 plus tan square theta. Now I want to arrange terms. You get to a minus a tan square theta plus 2b tan theta is equal to c plus c tan square theta. If you take these terms, you can write whole terms in RHS. In that case, you can take common tan square theta in both terms. You get c plus a tan square theta. After taking LHS towards RHS, then you c plus a tan square theta plus 2b tan theta, and it becomes constant c plus c minus. Here it will be minus because it goes in RHS, and it becomes negative. So it can be written as c minus c will be 0. This is a required. This is theta. This is theta. This is a required obtain quadratic equation whose roots becomes alpha and beta. If alpha and beta becomes roots of this quadratic equation, then you can say that here alpha, that means theta. In that case, can you say that tan alpha and tan beta are two roots of this quadratic equation? If tan alpha and tan beta are two roots of this quadratic equation, as you know that sum of roots according to property of quadratic equation, as you know that sum of roots becomes, that means alpha plus beta. Here alpha behaves as tan alpha and beta behaves as tan beta. And you know that tan alpha plus tan beta is equal to minus times coefficient of x divided by leading coefficient. So can you write here tan alpha plus beta will be what? It is just as the sum of roots is equal to tan alpha plus minus b, that means minus coefficient of x. Coefficient of x is equal to minus 2b. Here x is greater as tan theta. So you write 2b divided by coefficient of x square. X square means that one tan square theta, that is c plus s. So it becomes 2 by c square. Here I have told you As you know that quadratic equation becomes if alpha and beta are roots of this quadratic equation, then alpha plus beta is equal to what? Coefficient of x, that means minus times coefficient of x minus b divided by coefficient of a is called leading coefficient of leading coefficient. So I have a similar process I have done. So finally I get 2b by a plus c. This is simple, but only you have to get, there is simple rule behind it. You have to get after simplifying in a particular quadratic equation, after it you can solve it so easily. Now I want to take another problems for you. 14. I want to take 14. 14 prove that cos square x plus cos square x plus 3 pi by 3 plus cos square x minus pi by 3. You have to prove that it becomes 3 by 2. Now there, how can you solve it? It becomes also very easy. I want to only hint you. Cos square x, can you write 1 plus cos 2x by 2? Because I have already told you 1 plus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 cos square theta. In that case, cos square theta, if you take common 2 from if you take 2 in division analysis, you get cos square theta 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Simply I have written here. Similarly, you can write here also 1 plus cos, it is x plus pi by 3. Behaves as theta. In that case, can you write 1 plus cos 2x plus 2 pi by 3 divided by 2. Similarly, this term also can be written as cos 2x minus pi 1 minute x minus pi by 3, not pi by 2. In that case, you get 2 pi by 3 divided by 2. Now we have to take simply common 2 from whole expression. Then you get 1 plus cos 2x plus 1 plus cos 2x plus 2 pi by 3 plus cos 2x minus 2 pi by 3. Now you have to simplify. Sorry, there is one term also. 1 plus cos 2x minus 2 pi by 3. So there will be 1 plus this term. Now 1, that will be 3. Here 1 by 2 have taken common plus. If you add this term, will reduce each other finally, you get 3 by 2. You have to manipulate. I have directly written here. Now I want to write the next problem for you. How can you solve this problem? 15. In 15, prove that sin qx plus sin q 2 pi by 3 plus x plus sin q 4 pi by 3 plus x is equal to minus 3 by 4 into sin 3x. Here numerator sin 3x as a multiplication. Now you have to prove it. Simply, you have to proceed from LHS. But before starting, I want to give some formula. Sin 3x is equal to what? 3 sin x minus 4 sin qx. I think you understand this formula. Sin 3 theta is equal to 3 sin theta minus sin 4 sin q theta. Now, if you take LHS and this part will be RHS, then you get 4 sin qx is equal to 3 sin x minus sin 3x. So I think you understand sin cube x equal to 1 upon 4 into 3 sin x minus sin 3x. Have you understood? That means sin cube x is equal to 3 sin x minus sin 3x by 4. If you understand it, now directly you have to write this formula and you have to use it. Sin cube x is equal to, can be written as 1 upon 4 into 3 sin x minus sin 3x divided by 4 plus 1 upon 4 into, it can be also written as 3 sin x, that means 3 sin 2 pi by 3 plus x minus sine 3x. That means in this angle you have to multiply by 3. In that case you get 2 pi plus, if you multiply 2 pi plus 3x plus 1 by 4 into 3 sine x minus sine 3 theta. If you multiply by 3 in this angle you get 4 pi plus x, 4 pi plus 3x. Have you understood? And now there is simple rule. You have to take common 1 by 4 whole expression. What you get? 3 sin x. You have to arrange 3 sin x, 3 sin 2 pi plus 3x, 3 sin 4 pi by 3 plus x. Then you get 3 sin x plus sin 2 pi by 3 plus x. Again write sin 4 pi by 3 plus x. In a bracket minus 1 if you take common from this term and this term, you get sin 3x plus sin 2 pi plus x, sin 3x plus sin 2 pi plus x plus sin 2 pi plus x plus sin 2 pi minus x, 4 pi plus 3x, 4 pi plus 3x. Here it is given 2 pi plus x, 2 pi plus 3x, not 2 pi plus x, 2 pi plus 3x, and here 2 pi plus 3x, 2 pi plus, here sin 3x plus sin 2 pi plus 3x, sin 4 pi plus 3x. Now, if you completely calculate it, then you get minus 1 upon 4 into 3 sin 3x minus 4 sin cube x. After manipulating it, you get minus 3 by 4 into sin 3x, which is your RHS. Have you understood? I think in this class I have discussed up to question number 50. Now, in next class I will discuss remains all problems which is relevant to this topic or this formula. Thanks all of you. I will again meet in next class. Bye.